Get my 6. All right, guys and girls, you have spoken and I have listened and I have implemented your advice. You know, one of the things I love about what I do here at PBS S here on the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show, must be the pollen, is the support we get from viewers like you. As you get my 6 and you watch the background for this mythical creature that may or may not exist, that is potentially out there in our potential forest, which is quickly becoming green and getting covered with buds and leaves. It's making it harder to see things. Speaking of things, hold on. I see a thing I want to put on my thingy. Bear with me. Oh, my thingy's in the way. Okay, so here's what's going on. I'm gonna read through comments, and once I sit through the "you sucks" and all that stuff, sometimes I run into some really sound advice, and there's a bit of sound advice that's been coming up for the last few months now since we started this search for our potential Bigfoot Sasquatch that lives potentially back here in our potential Bigfoot Sasquatch forest. People are like, gift fruit, give apples. Get this thing out of my thingy here. So I thought I saw a movement. Watch back there. Let me put this back on my thingy. Okay. Some really, really sound advice. And so many people say over and over, "Hey, Crazy Lake, you need to get a job, boy." I'm thinking, job? What's this mean? If I had a job, how would I ever have time to search for this potential Bigfoot Sasquatch that potentially lives in our potential Bigfoot Sasquatch forest? I'd be too busy working. But then I thought, you know, I mean, I'm not saying the masses are always right or follow the crowd. I typically see where the crowd's going and I go the opposite direction. Wait, there's a really cool thing to put on my thingy. But so anyway, I thought, okay, so many people are saying it. Maybe this is some really sound, sage advice. There's a message here that the universe, through these, I mean, I don't know, 23 different people in the last 3 months have said, get a job. I won't put the teeth back in. We got the point. So I contacted a temp agency that I've gone through in the past, and I'm like, hey, can you get me a job? They're like, sure, be here at this one place at 9 a.m. on Monday. I'm like, okay. Oh, my thingy's getting in the way. So keep watching. I'm gonna act like I'm not looking. I'm just gonna tell the story. This is how it works best. Okay, so I'm given this assignment. I'm told to go to this place. You know, I don't want to out who this place is or who these people are or what they do, but they're involved with production. Okay, they're a big important part of things in our economy. You know, shipping, receiving, production. So I go in. I show up 10 minutes early because, you know, if you're not at least 5 minutes early, you're late, right? So I sit down, the HR woman comes in, she says, are you so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, that's me. Wait, I see another really nice thing to put on my thingy. And so she goes, all right, sit there and wait. So I'm sitting there, and she looks up and she's just staring at me. She's like, I know you. I'm like, no, we've never met. She's like, no, I know you. I'm like, no. And she's just staring and she's staring. It's making me nervous. I'm like, do I have a bug or something? So she goes, I know who you are. You owe me 12 and a half minutes of my life back. I'm like, huh? And she goes, are you that Bigfoot Sasquatch guy from YouTube? I was like, potentially. She's like, I knew it. That's you. Come on, I know what job you've got today. Hold on. So I get up, I follow her into this large building. She takes me to this place, introduces me to the supervisor, and the supervisor's like, come with me. And so the supervisor walks me over to this machine, and she was kind of neat. She's like, okay, so here's what you'll be doing. You'll be standing right here in front of this contraption, and I'm like, and she looks at me and she's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, you call this a contraption? This is not a contraption. She's like, that's a generic term. I'm like, please, you need to have a little more respect for that. And she's like, what do you want to call it? I'm like, I don't know. It's not a contraption. I said, I can show you what a contraption is, and I have the ultimate contraption. And she's like, I know you. I'm like, no, we've never met. She's like, you're that. She goes, you owe me 12 and a half minutes of my life. I'm like, how is this even possible for me to give you people time back on your life? I'm like, you don't have to watch these videos. And she said, yes, I do. And I'm like, why? I didn't make you. And she's like, no, YouTube made me. They recommended it to me 17,000 times. And so I watched it. I'm like, well, you didn't have to watch the whole thing. You could have clicked away. And she's like, no, I couldn't. And I'm like, why not? And she's like, because I wanted to know what you were going to do next. You're crazy. So anyway, she goes, here, stand in front of this contraption. I'm like, it's not a contraption. Stop going there. She's like, what are you going to call it? I said, it's a thingy. She goes, okay. You stand right here in front of this thingy and put these things on it. And I'm like, okay. And thus went the next 7 hours of my life. I mean, it was 8 hours, but I had a 1 hour lunch break, and I fell asleep in my car out in the parking lot eating my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I was like 7 minutes late getting back in. I think they're going to dock my pay, but whatever. It's not much. I swear I think something's up here on this hilltop. So for 7 hours, I stood in one place, and I did the same thing over and over. And I would get tired, my back would hurt, so I'd like be trying to stretch my back out. And man, that girl would come running over. She's going, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm stretching my back out. She's like, why? And I'm like, because it hurts putting all these things on my thingy. And she's like, what, did you think it wouldn't hurt putting things on your thingy all day? You said you wanted a job. I'm like, no, people told me to get one. She's like, well, what do you think a job was like? You put things on your thingy all day, and it hurts. So hold on, I see another thing for my thingy. All right. So anyway, 7 hours of my life. And these girls are complaining about 12 and a half minutes. And they took 7 hours of my life, minus the hour I was sleeping in my car and eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So, but I thought, there's a lesson here. Everybody said, get a job. Get a job. You have too much time on your hands. Get a job. Get a job, Crazy Lake. And then it occurred to me, because then this girl, she kept coming over going, what are you doing now? I'm like, I'm stretching my calves. She's like, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You got to stop taking these breaks. Keep this machine running. And I thought, here is the message the universe is trying to send me through my supportive followers. All 102,000 of them, as of this recording, who support us here at PBS. S. Okay, here, see, you do the math, put it together. You put things on the thingy, and they watch you. He, she, it or they potentially will watch you. So can we make him, her, it, or they come to us by putting things on the thingy, maybe? Don't get too excited. This thingy's so heavy, it's so big. Wait till you see my thingy. I'm gonna show it to you here in a minute. Ugh. After I put this thing on it. That's a nice one. All right, so I got this great idea that if I made my own thingy and put things on it, not only might they come and watch, potentially, I mean, this is all potentially, but I would do something more productive for my family. I mean, I guess somebody somewhere down the line benefited from all that stuff I did yesterday on that conveyor belt. Oh, hey, what's up, Miss Cates? Phoebe Cates. Or as Giggly Girl would say, PB Cakes. So, I developed my own thingy to put things in. I'm gonna show it to you now. I think we got a couple peeking at us around some trees up there. So I got this thingy around my neck. Here, I'll just go ahead and show you. Check it out. Ta-da! Or as Giggly Girl would say, shudra! I just got a really cool way to carry this really cool thingy to collect my kindling around my neck through the forest, and then I bring it over here and I dump it on a sled. Then I'll haul it all. Once it's full, I'll haul it down to the house with my four-wheeler. And yes, I guess if you must know technically, by four-wheeler, I mean riding lawnmower. So, I told those two ladies I'd give them kind of a shout out, but they didn't want me to mention their names or their organization because they didn't want to be associated with my tomfoolery. But they know who they are, and they were like, well, how will we know what video it is? I'm like, I don't know, look at the title. And they're like, but you title those things so stupid. What will it even be about? And I was like, things. So anyway, that's their very anonymous shout out. But this episode of PBS S, the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show, is dedicated to the 2019 NCAA Division I National Basketball Champions, our hometown team, who showed the world what Charlottesville is really like. Champions who win with poise, grace, dignity, even after hardships like last year, losing in the first round, the most embarrassing loss in history. We came back and we won the next year. This video is for them, it's for our town, it's for our community. They will always remind us one of the most important things you can ever remember in life, and that is that cool guys never look back at their explosions.